Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do Tinkercad, and you're going to get trained on Tinkercad. After you have completed this keychain, then you can start to experiment and do what you want. So the first thing you need to do is you will get onto a laptop and you are going to type in this address, tinkercad.com. After you get trained, you'll have this app on your iPad. I can put that app on your iPad, but you'll have to do it on the laptop for the first time to be trained so that you can follow along with this video. So once you have tinkercad.com typed in, then you are going to go over to Join Now. So you're going to hit Join Now. Then you're going to go to Students Join a Class. You'll do the same thing when you're on your iPad. You'll go to Join a Class. So this is where you need your code. So over in the computer areas, I'm going to have this right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a code on it. So each time you go to do 3D printing, you're going to need to type in that code. So I'm going to type this in really quick, 4X. You don't have to worry about capitalizing because it does that for you. Just type it in. So there's the code. If you want to, you can pause this video right now and you can type in that code and then continue the video after you have that code typed in. Okay, so now that you have the code typed in, say go to my class. You are going to join with your nickname. So if I have not put you in the system yet, you cannot continue at this point. You have to have already have given me your name and I put you in with an account. So you're going to go join with a nickname. Your nickname is just going to be your first name that you gave to me on the piece of paper. You don't have to worry about capitalizing, just put your name. I'm going to put the word test because that's a nickname I created for this. Once you get it in, you're going to say that's me, and you're going to come to this screen. So you are going to go to create a new design. Every time you start a new design, you go to create a new design. The second thing you have to do, I'm going to X out of that. The second thing you have to do is you have to change this name right here. It's going to give you a weird name. You have to click on this and you have to type your name. Let's say my name was Test and I am in class 5D. You would put your name and then you would put your class. So if you were in Mrs. Pettit's class, it would be 5P. So that would be your name. And now you're ready to start to learn how to create a keychain. So the next thing you do is you come over to the ruler and you're going to drag your ruler to the corner and let go. Now you're going to be able to see number values. So those are the first two steps with any project you ever do. Now to create a keychain, we're going to take this red box and we're going to drag it out and then let go. Okay, remember, each time you need to do a step, you can just pause the video and then do that step. Okay, for this keychain, it's going to have you resize the base. It wants the base to be 100 at the bottom. So if you click in here, type 100, hit enter. Then it wants the height, and you can kind of move it around a little. It wants the height to be 5, hit enter. And it wants you to leave the width at 20. So you get to leave it like that. So you're going to go 100, you're going to go 5, and you're going to go 20. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. Do you see this 0? This is how it fits on the plane. So pretend this is like, look at my little picture. This is like the plane. 0 means it's fitting right on top. If that 0 number ever goes like, let's say you put a 5, it means print it 5 inches into the air. So you do not want that, the base, to be printing above. You also don't want it to say negative something because that's going to be telling it to sink it in, and that will not work. So whenever you start with a base, always make sure that this number way out to the side is a 0. Okay, let me get my things back. So the next thing we're going to learn is we're going to learn how to make holes in case you ever need a hole in your design. So this stripes means it is a hole. We're going to drag this out, and I'm going to resize it before I try to put it on here. I want my hole to be 10, 10, and 10. So I'm going to say 10 here, enter, whoops, 10, and 10. Remember, I do not want to do this 0, because if I did a 10 there, it would print it 10 inches up in the air, and that's not going to work. So that needs to stay the same. Now the tricky part comes with trying to move this over without resizing it. So you're going to move it into the middle right here. Sometimes when I do that, I accidentally grab one of these white boxes and then it stretches it and it moves it around. If that happens to you, just do your resizing again. Try to grab in a place that does not have the little white boxes. So that is what you do to create holes in your project. Now I'm going to show you how you can create your text. So on the side over here, if you go down, you're going to see a word that says text. Drag that over, and right here in this box it says text. Right now my word says text. I want it to say a word, like maybe I want it to say library. Then this is where you are going to have to decide how to size it, because that is way too big. So let me get rid of this. I'm going to try, and maybe I'll do 60. It's going to depend on how long your word is. This, you can tell my Y is hanging over, so I'm going to say maybe 15. And I'm going to see if that will fit now. So that looks better. If you want to look at it from the top, there's a box over here. You just hit top, and you can see what it looks like from the top. And then just click the arrow. You can see what it's looking like there. Sometimes it's tricky to get it back to where you need the regular view, which I can't get anymore. That's okay. So you now know how to do a base, you know how to do a hole, and you know how to put text on it. So these are the main steps to learning how to do 3D printing. You can see on this side there are all sorts of other things you can start to experiment. These are just the basic shapes. There's a drop down arrow right here. You can go to other types of shapes. You can see what other things there are. But you have to get trained on just making a basic shape, learning how to do a hole, learning how to do raised letters, learning how to do a base. So now that you have all that done, you're ready for printing, but you have to group it. So you're going to hold right here, you're going to click, and you're going to drag a box around, and you're going to let go. That's how you do it on the computer. To do it on the iPad, I believe you have to push each section until the little white boxes are all highlighted. You're going to push all of your pieces. Then it's going to be like grouped. You're going to come up here and you're going to hit this little thing that says group, and it's going to group it. That means it's ready for printing. This is where then you can look at the different views, make sure it all looks good. And that is when you're going to give me a piece of paper that says, hey, my name is Test 5D. I am ready to print, and I will print your 3D print for you. You get to do one print each month, and whatever color is in the printer, that's the color that you end up doing. So that is your basic learning how to do 3D prints. Go ahead and get that done. Give me the piece of paper. Remember, when you start doing your own, every time you do it, you have to group it. If you don't group it, I can't print it. And I'm just going to give you a paper back that says, sorry, it's not done yet, and you're going to have to go back and try to group it or figure out what might be wrong. So good luck with this, and let me know when you're ready for printing.